All right guys, the snow is melting, weather is getting nicer. You know what that means. It's time to bust out the spring fits, put the old winter clothes away, never to see the light of day again, and step into the season of freedom, of fertility, of renewal. But when the temperature does rise and guys start trying to figure out what they're gonna start wearing, it's usually an afterthought. It's usually executed poorly and the style kind of falls apart. The default becomes easy and lazy. It is sweatpants or running shorts. It's graphic tees, Adidas Sambas, you get the point, but it sacrifices the structure and the layers that you built in the winter. So you don't have to dress like a corporate golfer when all of a sudden the sun comes out for a season. You can dress how you want. And for me, I'm shifting towards a more classy, like a smart, edgy, by today's standards, not edgy at all. I think today's standards, you would just call my style the performative male style because I like it. I think it looks good. I mean, like, okay, I'll show you guys. So like with my fit, very simple. I have like the barrel fit jeans, got a little cardigan on. I have some accessories, nothing crazy.
So good and tasty.
So that's my job resume for this video, the proof of concept that we're talking about. Not that this fit is banger or anything, but I think this captures a decent snapshot of where my style usually lands. All that to say, you can maintain the aesthetic that you've cultivated, created, maybe stepped into, researched on during the winter days. You can still have that. It's just gonna be a maybe less layered, different fabrics. And so you are gonna have to make an intentional shift and start thinking about, okay, if this is how, like for me, I kind of changed out the wardrobe a good bit during the winter to best fit the vibe that I was going for. And then now that it's warming up, I really have to kind of re-strategize and kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit to think, how do I maintain this look, this aesthetic that I've stepped into? How do I adapt it? So we're gonna be focusing on functional minimalism, sharp silhouette, and quiet confidence, not quiet luxury. Okay, so the first shift that we're gonna be looking at is going to be the fabrics. We're gonna have to kind of rethink them a little bit and change things out. Heavy denim, thick cotton, robust leather. These look great for streetwear. They look great when layered together, and they can really create banger fits. But this is a non-starter when it comes to the hot weather. I think the number one thing that will ruin anyone's fit is when you dress inappropriately for the season, and even for the context in which you're attending or what you're doing. So just dressing for the context is so crucial. In that, swap out the weight of the fabrics in favor of lighter stuff and maintain the silhouette. A great example is gonna be the cardigan. I have a very, very thick black cardigan that I could just be sitting and I'll just start sweating in room temperature. And this one, this is from a company called Boohoo Man. It's kind of like fast fashion. So maybe I'm losing credibility by wearing Boohoo Man, but I promise you my wardrobe is not all Boohoo Man. I digress. This cardigan is very lightweight, minimal fabric, probably because that's what's cheapest to manufacture, but it actually does work out when it comes to the spring and it starts to get hotter leading up into summer. And then early fall, I think it'll still be applicable. Same thing with chore coats, with leather jackets, with bomber jackets. If you've identified a jacket or an outer layer that you really like, that if you really do mess with the quarter zip, there are ways that you can still style whatever piece you were looking for into these warmer seasons without dying and without looking like a fool. So breathable, so lightweight, breathable fabrics help. Obviously, ideally, you're gonna be going with natural fibers, but it's whatever. In that category, you can go towards the linen blends. Otherwise, you can go for the more breathable, kind of technical fabrics. One complication that the spring and the summer seasons present when it comes to dressing and style for men, and I guess for women too, is that you're suddenly exposed. It's like the spotlight is on you because 90% of the work on an outfit can sometimes be accomplished just by a jacket. A fantastic coat can really do some serious heavy lifting and elevate a mid-fit to like, boom, this thing's gonna change your life. But when you don't have that, your base layer gets exposed. And sometimes so does your body, your fitness, or lack thereof. And although certainly there are times to really like show off the physique that you've built, maybe the cut that you've done ahead of time, preparing for spring, for summer, we don't wanna be one-trick ponies here. We wanna have versatility. We wanna be well-rounded men. And so what are we gonna do? We're gonna be thinking about structured overshirts. And the range of these is, oh, it's endless. You can go short sleeve button up over a high quality fitted tee. You can do a lightweight bomber, a lightweight cardigan, lightweight leather jacket, linen shirts. You can do a long sleeve button up shirt with the layer of an undershirt. For me, I'm wearing a tank top. I'm not trying to mess up the mic. So doing stuff, throw on the chore coat. There are ways you can be smart about still stacking up and layering intentionally without sweating. Like a really well executed simple fit can absolutely tick all the boxes and like psychologically accomplish everything you want an outfit to. More often than not, the more layers that you have on an outfit, the more articles that you have, the more chances and the greater odds you have pull off an excellent fit. It's kind of like the lottery. You know, if you buy one lottery ticket, your chances are impossible. But the more tickets that you buy, the greater your odds are. And just like an outfit, you're never gonna win the lottery on an outfit. You're never gonna have the perfect outfit, but you can always buy those tickets and stack them up in your favor. All right, talking about the third principle here. This is when it gets really tricky with the summer, is thinking about what am I doing with the bottom half of my body? What's happening down there? Because I have these fantastic, you know, barrel cut jeans, double pleated, high waisted, wide leg trousers, which oftentimes those are light enough weight to be pulled off in warmer months. But I mean, come on guys, like sometimes there are days where you just gotta throw on a pair of shorts. However, the athleisure shorts, I would argue, in most scenarios, absolutely just kill your fit. Doesn't matter if they're from Lululemon, if they're from Gymshark, the silhouettes today really matter more than ever in my opinion. So the solution is going to be below the knee cut shorts for most scenarios. Now, of course, there are ways to pull off kind of the really short inseam shorts that are like in a classy way. You know, throw on some Laurel Piana summer walks, and then you throw on a buttoned up linen shirt with that. But it's really hard to pull that off. There are that's a high skill level move. I'd argue that by throwing on a pair of loafers, a pair of sneakers, and some wide leg pleated trouser shorts. I've been really digging the kind of below the knee length shorts. And there are ways, like for me, I'm a very short guy. There are ways to pull them off without bringing more attention to your lack of height. So this year I am gonna try and still like be able to wear pants during these hotter months, but at the very least, I think this is gonna be the first season where I'll feel confident wearing a pair of shorts. I just always have felt like shorts have been the hardest thing to pull off, especially for me. But now for you guys who are taller, who have better proportions, that's not gonna matter nearly as much, but you still do wanna think about what is this piece doing for my outfit. Talking about hardware, talking about the accessories. So for the winter and when the cold season hits, you just wanna ball out on the accessories. Like pretty much anything goes. You can accessory max. Your outfits are gonna be a little bit more minimal, pared back, and showing some more skin. This is a great opportunity to, showcase and really highlight some accessories that you are intentional about selecting, but because there's less going on just overall and visually, you also want to have that similar mindset influence the accessories that you reach for in these warmer months. So thinking about like ways you can limit yourself a little bit, I think it just comes down to the number of things that you have on. I'm not gonna be rocking multiple necklaces at once. With the rings, I'm gonna keep them pretty slim, although this is kind of just my everyday EDC stack, regardless of what season it is. With the left hand, it's just gonna be one watch. Not wearing two watches, that's not a thing. And then with the right, just wearing one little chain bracelet. And obviously tattoos are gonna be, if you have them, will be an accessory that gets to be definitely highlighted in these warmer months where you get to show some more skin in your outfits. And that's kind of sometimes can be a cool time to bust out like the leg sleeve you got, but I don't have that. I didn't drop $6,000 on a leg sleeve. The point I'm trying to get across is that accessories for this season are going to be what elevate and what can bring that extra sauce to your outfit that you might have felt like it was missing when you put on the stuff and stood in the mirror and you realized, oh man, I gotta throw some more things on to make this pop. Don't let that take you too far. Don't dive too deep into that trap. One little like hack, I'm gonna take this off because that's what I'm gonna be wearing for the next video. But one little thing that I've been thinking about, I'm like asking myself, why don't any tank tops really look right on me? And again, being a shorter guy, I think it comes down to the fact that the collar was just so low. Like on your typical Hanes kind of wife beaters, the scoop sits like super low and it shows a lot of skin. I think that just brings more attention to the fact that you're low, like you're lower to the earth than most men. I'm completely overthinking it. And I'm not saying go crazy on such a basic piece. Come on guys, we only have so many V-bucks to spend. We can't be going all out on the wife beater. Also shouldn't be going out on being a wife beater, but you know what I'm saying.